Hello and welcome to an MTGO Scars and Mirrodin draft. My first pack here is, I think it's rather interesting. Contagious Nim, Galvanic Blast, and Tumble Magnet are very clearly the most powerful cards in the pack. Rustic is solid, Moriok Replica is solid, Wall of Tanglecourt is solid, I guess. Nim Deathmantle is solid. It's okay, I guess. Of these, the choice, I think, just boils down to Galvanic Blast or Tumble Magnet. Real removal or pseudo removal. I mean, I guess you could force Infect with Contagious Nim, but that just doesn't seem optimal. Though I would love to force Infect. It's my favorite. It's my favorite deck in the format. Between these two, Tumble Magnet's just so much more versatile. If red is just not there, I don't have to splash it. I may end up regretting that decision, but Tumble Magnet goes better in more decks. Pack 1, pick 2. I may be rewarded for that decision, being able to choose between Assist Bearer and an Icarats for a poison deck. Also Glinthawk Idol, which is an okay card. Sky Eel School is fine if I want to go into blue, although, second pick Sky Eel School isn't, it's not the greatest thing in the world. But I'm happy getting past 2 poison cards with, let's see, an uncommon missing in the set. I'm happy to take the Assist Bearer here and move into poison. I'm actually very happy to do that. Not the greatest. Although, I mean, there's an Infect guy. Color considerations aside, strictly worse than Assist Bearer, but good enough to pick. Etch Champion is kind of cool, but just obviously not the right start for that. Strider Harness is okay. Nitrogen Sensor is okay. I think there was a Glinthawk in the last pack that would have gone better with this. But Contagious Nim is just very, very solidly the pick. I'm probably going to pick Contagious Nim number 2 here, and I'm cutting off Infect quite nicely. So far I passed a Contagious Nim pack 1, and I passed an Infect guy with the Assist Bearer. I don't remember what it was. But I'll take another Contagious Nim here. There's just nothing else that's close. Bellowing Tangleworm is the closest card in the pack. It's actually a very, very good card, but I'd rather just take the Infect guy here. Pick 5, there is absolutely nothing here for me. Nitrogen Sensor is useless in this deck. Very unlikely to splash white, although I could take this just to hate it out. Horizon Spellbomb, though, could make the deck. It could help splash a card. If I open a Sunblast Angel, I guess, or a red removal spell. And that's the pick. Okay, well, Blackcleave Goblin is the Infect card here. Grafted Exoskeleton is okay. I think Blackcleave Goblin is probably better. Molder Beast is okay too, but just not so hot in this deck. I think the Goblin's the pick. I think it's a terrible card, and I mean, it's a 23rd card at best. But there's better equipment options. There's 4 mana and 2 to equip it. I'll take the Goblin. Well, here I'm gifted with a Blight Mamba. I mean, it's not the greatest card in the set, but in the Infect deck, it's kind of a nice 8th pick. 7th pick, I guess. Chrome Steed is still in the pack, and a Dark Slick Drake is still in the pack. That blue deck, if someone's drafting a blue deck, they got a pretty solid start to it. And making me regret the Blackcleave Goblin earlier, although Trigon of Thought is interesting here. I can't charge it up, but it gives me a few things to do with my mana later in the game than picking another Blackcleave Goblin. That I'm just so unlikely to play 2 of these that I'd rather have a card like Trigon of Thought. And the Contagious Nim from pack 1 actually wheeled, so I have the option to pick a Contagious Nim number 3, or a Moriok Replica, or Tel'Jala Defiance would be the other pick. However, I'm just going to go ahead and pick another Infect guy. That Sky Eel School came around, as did a Clone Shell. I think that I'm going to take this, and hopefully that whoever's drafting that blue deck is going to be a little bit disappointed by that. I'm a big fan of hate drafting when it's when appropriate. Cost sort so far. I mean, the Infect deck is always going to be a little heavy on the 2 and 3 spots, at least with triple scars. I have not really looked at the limited format at all with Mirrodin Besieged, but it looks like a cool set so far. There's really nothing here. I think the rest of this is all going to be pretty much useless here. We'll see if one of those blue cards like Dark Slick Drake came around again, though I doubt it. Not a bad pack one. Not too excited about 3 Contagious Nims, but you just need the Infect guys. Black Cleave Goblin is worse, obviously, but things could be worse than this. I cut Infect pretty well, and I got a very late Blight Mamba, so it's likely that there's 0 or 1 Infect players at the table other than me. There were no Tangle Anglers, no Plague Stingers, so there's at least one other Infect player, and no Necropedes, no Ichor Claw Mirrors, whatever they're called. And I opened a terrible pack. Asphodel Spider's okay. Barbed Battle Gear is pretty sick, but not with this crew. I think the Sylvok Life Staff is the best card in here for me. But to first pick a Life Staff seems really, really lame here. You got first pick Shatter. Wow, this is really bad. Asphodel Spider might be the pick here. Make me but Shatter. I could wheel the Life Staff. This just makes me wish I would have picked the Infect equipment earlier. I guess I'll take a Sisbearer. Not thrilled by that, but I'm not unhappy about it. Maybe replace some of these like Black Cleave Goblin. Hopefully, by the time this deck fleshes out. Plague Stingers and 2-mana Infect guys at this point are my biggest priority. Speaking of, there is Plague Stinger number 1. That's an easy pick. Now, Blight Mamba is very unlikely to make it back around, but Plague Stinger is just too good. The 2-mana Infect guys are the real key to making this deck work. I've decided. I've noticed. Not too groundbreaking, I know, but let's see here. 12. First pack one and pick one. I had a choice of Tumble Magnet or Galvanic Blast. And at this point, I haven't seen much red at all. There was that Blade Tribe Berserkers and Shatter so far in pack 2. I saw the 1 Galvanic Blast and pretty much nothing else. So that ended up being very fortunate picking Tumble Magnet. But that was part of the design of that pick. Picking something that was a little better, a little more versatile, a little better in multiple archetypes. Obviously better than anything that's not running red. Although it's also important to point out that I think the Horizon Spellbomb would allow a splash of Galvanic Blast pretty easily, as well as drafting the rest of the draft with that in mind. Picking up, say, an Iron Mirror, or another Horizon Spellbomb. But then again, okay, I guess Untamed Might is an easy pick here. Nothing else is even worthwhile even looking at here. Furnace Celebration, obviously cool. I've still never played that deck, but it seems fun. Okay, I've always really liked a Quarter's Shield in this Infect deck. I think it's a very strong play with most of the cards in here. Because at some point you're just going to run out of guys to play, and to have a 2/5 infect with vigilance is pretty insane. It's obviously especially ridiculous on Blight Mamba. It makes Black Cleave Goblin a lot less embarrassing. Obviously we're not playing Wall of Tanglecord. Maybe playing Painsmith. That would be the alternative. But so far there aren't enough artifacts in here. I don't have a very artifact heavy deck to begin with. But it's especially oh, that's an easy pick with Corpse Cur. I not only do I have a very artifact light deck to begin with, I'm just a bunch of obvious picks in a row. I think Sistbearer, another obvious pick. I have 2 of them already, so Untamed Might is a possibility, but I do not have any 2-mana Infect guys, so I need as many Infect guys as I can get at this point. I only have the Plague Stinger and Blight Mamba right now. I have a 4-drop, 2 4-drops, one of which I'd rather not play if I can avoid this being the other option, but I also don't have very much artifact destruction right now. It's actually kind of an interesting pick. This is one that I would like your opinion on. I'm picking Sistbearer, but Untamed Might, Sistbearer, or Viridian Revel. Please share your thoughts. Okay, here's a spot where it makes me regret an earlier pick. I'm going to pick the Black Cleave Goblin. I think I picked the other Black Cleave Goblin over something that may have been borderline playable. I'll have to relook at that video. I'll take this from the dinosaur deck. And I'll take Wing Puncture. Wonder, does Infect work with Wing Puncture? Let's see. Yeah, it deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. So yeah, Wing Puncture. That's interesting. Sideboard. There's another one. I wish I would have taken the black card now.